Okay. First of all, the first part of the answer is that one should care about their eternity and not their status in this world. That's first of all. If a person doesn't believe that there's an afterlife and I live eternally and I'm only here for 70 years to drive a Mercedes, that's already some type of a problem in the system. Because the reality is that there is an afterlife and there is consequences to my acts. And when I act in this world, I don't see the immediate gratification. I'm looking at the end result. And I'm looking, me, what was going to be the results in my internal life, not right now in my status. But that's one part. The second thing is that I told you before that this world is called Olam HaSheker, Alma de Shikra, the world of lie. Because you look at the world, everything looks one way, but if you go to the backstage, it doesn't look exactly the same. So not everything that glitters is gold. And you go into a beautiful city like Los Angeles, beautiful cars everywhere, beautiful houses, everybody's dressed very nice. I can tell you that in the week that I'm here, I met maybe 150 people on a face to face. Chas v'shalom, I'm not putting anybody down, on putting anybody in a spot. You know how many people from those amount of people, and not only in Los Angeles, by the way. 3 weeks ago, I was in the East Coast, in a place not as less beautiful in Los Angeles, very, very wealthy neighborhood, 2 huge wealthy neighborhoods. I'm actually not going to say the names. It's very two wealthy neighborhood. I can't even say it, a neighborhood. It's like a little city. That everything looks nice, beautiful cars, beautiful houses, status. You know what I hear the most from most people? I don't have anything. The house is foreclosure, $500,000 on credit cards. Banks are running after me all day long. I don't have nothing. It just looks like I have one big bubble. So I'm not just saying that everybody's the same, but I was taught in a very early age, not everything that glitters is gold. And sometimes you look at something and you're like, wow, I wish I had that. Just yesterday. And again, my daughter doesn't like me quoting her, but yesterday we drove from here to the valley, and for whatever reason, the GPS took us literally through Beverly Hills. Every house, wow, it's half a neighborhood in Israel. Beautiful houses. And my daughter's like, wow, whoa, wee, all these sound effects. And she was like, I wish I had that house. I wish I had that house. I said, why are you wishing to have such a big house? What are you getting excited from concrete? That's what excites you? So do you think that a big house is everything? So the reality is that in this world, we get excited by nothing. We see a lot of glitter and we get overwhelmed. The reality is that 90% of this wow is empty. It's not really real. People pretend they have money. They don't really have money. Status can come and go. Money can come and go. You know that before I became religious, I was a millionaire. Millionaire with millions. I had a huge company. I'm Israeli. I know how to make money. Jewish and Israeli. I was literally... a combination is deadly combination. And in America. I literally was making millions. And you know what? I thought I was 27 years old. I thought I'm on the top of the world. And in one night, everything went. Because Hashem said, enough. Now I'm going to show you how little you can be. So the point to take from here is that you can be impressed by the glitter. And from my personal experience, there's always a ratio that is, going to prove different. But the majority of all this fame and the status and at the end of the day, the inside is so empty. And you have a big status in your trade, but at home, your wife is cheating on you, and your kids can't stand you, and your family doesn't want to talk to you. Or worse than that, when a person is building buildings, not buildings, but towers on air, the inside is so empty. And the question is, what does a person want? To have a beautiful home, a status in their trade or in their profession, and a few beautiful cars, and to be depressed and sad and constantly lawsuits and arguments and problems and all this headache, or just to be, you know what, I'll have a little bit less, but I'll be happy. And I'll have a good relationship with my kids and my wife. And my wife tells me, she's like, you can break the world record. You can go into the Guinness Book of falling asleep. You fall asleep within a second. The reality is that I'm already, my head doesn't even hit the pillow, I'm already asleep. She was like, how do you fall asleep so fast? So I told her, first of all, I only have 1 hour to sleep, so I need to take advantage of every second. Second of all, I have no worries. Nothing bothers me. Nothing is irritating me. I don't owe anybody anything. You know, the worries is not because if oh my gosh, the mortgage payment, that's not necessarily a worry. If I lie to somebody, if I cheat somebody, something inside, it's called a conscience, it's driving me nuts. And then when it comes to sleep, then I know all the angles of the bed, like this and like that, and something inside is agitating me, so I don't sleep well. And even when I sleep, I need to take pills because I'm not sleeping strong enough. And then I'm depressed and I'm sad and who needs this headache? So you can look at the instant gratification, the beautiful cars. I was in that world, I know what it is. Beautiful cars, beautiful house, status, I'm walking in. The more you're trying to move away from all this fame, the more it comes to you in a nice, natural, real way. So I know it's very deceptive. Oh, but I want to have the fame, I want to have the status and my name, and wow, everybody's wowing me. At the end of the day, if it's coming in a fake way, it's like buying these fake jewelry. Some women go with a $40,000 ring, and some buy the $40 fake one, and they just want a moment of fame. What did you get from that? You just got a balloon full of air. So again, there's always going to be the ratio that it's contradicting what I'm saying, but the majority is, and Baruch Hashem, I've been around, the majority is when something is built on fake, like a card, how do you call it, like a tower cards, hearts of cards, house of cards, either some point it crumbles and falls, and then the crash is massive because you crashed from way up high, or when a person lives a life of fakeness, at the end of the day, when the glitter goes off, when the rings go off, and late at night, when the blanket is on the head, suddenly starts the inside cooking. And the reality is that, again, chas v'shalom, not to put anybody down, but Baruch Hashem, I have the merit to deal with a lot of people. And I see that the ones that it's all based on fake, deep down inside are the ones that are lonely and are depressed and sad and they're never content. And the things that really matter to them in life doesn't work out. It's a life of fake. I mean, I came from the life of fake. Everything with me was fake. All my business was cheating. That's why I made millions. Everything was cheating. Everything was going like that and lying and cheating and stealing. And I'm saying that not because I'm trying to make myself, because that wasn't the way. And at the end of the day, yes, I was driving a beautiful Mercedes. But deep down inside, at the end of the day, when I'm not around the people who are wowing me, when I'm looking in the mirror of myself, I'm not really happy. I'm not really true to myself. Now, some people, they're so far away, they don't even feel that. They're so stuck in their own bubble of selfishness, they don't even notice how bad the situation is. But you know when they notice it? When they're 80, and their kids don't want to talk to them, and their grandkids don't want to talk to them, and the second they die, everybody jumps on the inheritance. I more look at the end, because we all have an eternal soul. We don't stay here. The soul doesn't take the Mercedes with the soul to heaven. So yes, some people, they want the immediate gratification. Let me now be happy for a year or for 2 years, but one needs to do a real account with themselves. What do I really want in life? If a person says, I really want the status and the fame, and fine, so pursue it. I know a fraction of people that are very happy with that status and the fame and the money. I would say 99% are not. Not that I know everybody, but I can guarantee to you that if we walk here into the street in Beverly Hills and start knocking on doors, I can guarantee to you that most of them are not happy. The relationships are not real relationships. It's all fake. It's all, and nobody wants to admit it, because out in the open, no, everything's good. Smiles. I was hanging out in all these parties. Everybody's smiling, and everybody's At the end of the day, when everybody goes home and the dress goes off, now start popping pills. Go to this shrink, that. So at the end of the day, one needs to be honest with himself. If I want to put the mask of pretending or being the real. So, my wife is beautiful. Real beautiful. I have a picture to prove it. And sometimes she puts a little bit of makeup. And she tells me, how do I look? I was like, you look better without the makeup. You're more pretty without the makeup. Why you put makeup? Well, your lips need to be shining. Okay, makes you happy, put the makeup on. But I tell her, you know what? Because you're naturally beautiful. You don't need to add something on it. Not I'm chas v'shalom putting any woman down that puts makeup. It's nice, makes you feel good, fine. The point is that in this world, we don't need to put makeup on. And the reality is it all boils down to the deep down inside, to that moment when you're sleeping at night in bed. The question pops up, are you falling asleep within a fraction of a second? Or are you sitting like this and you can't fall asleep? Or that the 7-8 hours later when you wake up, I don't want to wake up. I want to go again. I don't want to deal with this reality again. Then you come out and you put the smile on it. So it all boils down. I can go for hours and hours. I can tell you that this world is the epiphany of lie. And when a person his entire life is a lie, it can only sustain a certain amount of time. It's like drugs. Drugs, all the types of drugs. It doesn't matter what type of psychedelic drugs or drugs that everybody, 90% of this world is on drugs. So drugs is a band-aid. I'm not talking right now about cocaine. I'm talking even just the drugs that most people are taking every day. It's a band-aid. It's like a fakeness. Here, relax for 5 minutes. Why don't you deal with the problem? Why are you covering something up? So if I have a problem and I'm trying to cover it up with fakeness, it's not going to sustain much. And yes, there's always going to be the people that somebody can say, yeah, but look at him. He's a thief. He's a crook. Look at him. He has kids. He has money. He has status. There's always going to be this small group that can come and contradict. But at the end of the day, it comes to the person. You have to ask yourself, do I want to live a life of a lie, or do I want to live an honest life? If some people, that's what's their agenda. They want to be, in the spotlights, and they want the beautiful cars and the houses and the parties and the status. Fine. At some point, reality hits. The reality is that at some point, to every person, reality hits. Whether it hits you when you're in your 20s, when you're in your 50s, when you're in your 80s. I met not too long ago a very wealthy man. Very. Nobody of his kids want to talk to him. Grandkids don't talk to him. At the end of his life, it's like a sad story. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's like, my money's worthless. I'm sad. I'm lonely. That's it. No more parties when you're in your 80s. And, it's not so comfortable to drive a low Mercedes when you're 80. He's like, I'm barely walking. I need So he's like, he reflects back and he's like, now I see where I messed up. It's not about how beautiful everything looks. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with having a beautiful home, a beautiful car, beautiful clothes. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not chas v'shalom for one second saying you have to live like a poor person. If you do it right and honest, and Hashem blesses you with a lot of money, go ahead, enjoy. Go on beautiful vacations, live in a beautiful home. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should be rich. Everybody should be comfortable. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, a person has to be true to themselves and say, am I really happy with myself? And what's really the most important thing? And some people are still in their personal exile, and they think that, running over people and hurting other people and kicking people's careers and all these things, and just for them to get a moment of fine. I'm not going to argue with everybody. I just know that coming from my own experience, that at some point reality hits, and then you start making the accounts. And Baruch Hashem, I was lucky that reality hit me when I was 28, not 40, with kids and a wife. And so, they say, En chacham kebal hanisayon. A wise person is the one who has experience. So I can tell you from my own experience, there's nothing like the truth. You know what they say in America? The truth will set you free. I don't need bodyguards, I don't need sleeping pills, I don't need anxiety pills. Relax. My mom always comes to visit me, she's like, you're so relaxed. Yeah, because nothing's bothering me. I don't owe anybody anything. I'm not in a race of proving anything, and I'm happy. And I also have challenges, but I'm happy because, okay, that's life. I'm not worried. Look, no wrinkles. Maybe a few. Yet.